So we're getting into a new rule today with exponents, and it's called the power to a power rule. And the reason why it's called a power to a power is notice we're raising an exponent to an exponent, a power to a power in these examples. I'm going to look at, this is question 4 from the Google form from today. So we have that 3x to the 7th, and it's all being raised to the third power. So those parentheses emphasize that both the 3 and the x to the 7th are being raised to the third power. Now, a couple ways you can approach this. In the video, they talked about kind of the rule, and the rule is when you're raising a power to a power, you end up multiplying your exponents. So we'll look at that real quickly, and then we'll go into kind of why that rule exists. So remember, this 3 actually has an exponent of 1. When there's no exponent, we see it as an exponent of 1. So the rule is going to be multiply each power together. So we have a power of 1 and a power of 3. This power of 1 is being raised to the power of 3. 1 times 3 is 3. So I'm left with 3 to the third power. A similar idea, I have x to the 7th being raised to the third power. Once again, I'm going to multiply, and that would give us x to the 21st power. Now, if I want to go simplest form, well, 3 cubed is 27. It's 3 times 3 times 3, x to the 21st power. That would be our final answer kind of in simplest exponential form. Now, if we're saying, well, why does this rule exist? In other words, how do we end up with 27x to the 21st power? Well, let's look at this term in this expression in expanded form. So 3x to the 7th, that term being raised to the third power, if we're writing that in expanded form, remember, using exponents is just really representing repeated multiplication. So this 3x to the 7th being raised to the third power just means take 3x to the 7th and multiply it together 3 times. So I'm going to kind of write that out below. And I have 3x to the 7th being multiplied together 3 times. Now we can break each one of these terms down further in expanded form. So 3x to the 7th in expanded form would be 3, and then we'd have times x times x times x 7 times. So I just wrote now the expanded form for each one of those 3x to the 7ths. Now notice we're kind of applying that product rule. In other words, we're multiplying all of these terms together. So if we're applying that product rule, remember we're going to be multiplying our coefficients together. In other words, we're going to be multiplying 3 times 3 times 3. Those are our coefficients from above. And then we're going to be multiplying all of our x's. And I'm not going to write it out, but in other words, we're going times x, and then we're going to keep multiplying those x's. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. And notice if you multiply all your x's together, well, you're adding those exponents of 1. In other words, count your x's, and you actually end up with 21 x's. Notice our answers from the top and the bottom match. So that's why we're going to be ending up multiplying our powers, because it follows that expanded form rule. So once again, final answer would be 27x to the 21st. Very easy to kind of make the mistake, and then if we have the same problem, 3x to the 7th raised to the third power. Oftentimes we know we're going to be multiplying our exponents, and sometimes we'll write it as 3x to the 21st, which is partly correct. We do have the x to the 21st, but remember, this 3 term must also be raised to that third power. So this term here also has to be raised to the third power. So don't forget to also raise that coefficient to the third power, 3 to the third times x to the 21st. Okay? Very easy to forget that coefficient, but remember, each term, 3 and x, must be raised to the third power, that coefficient and that base. So in that last problem with Google form, once again, we're raising a power to a power, so we're dealing with the power to a power rule. And 2 ways to approach this. First way is, remember, when we're raising a power to a power, we're going to end up multiplying our powers together. So remember this coefficient of 10 really has an exponent of 1. It's being raised to the first power. No exponent means we have really an exponent of 1. So if we multiply our exponents together, we're going to be doing that 1 times 2, and that would give us 2, so we'd end up with 10 squared. We then deal with our base, that x, it's being raised to the 4th power. 4 times 2 would give us 8, 10 squared, x to the 8th. We can simplify that 10 squared. We can go a little bit further. 10 squared is 10 times 10, or 100, x to the 8th. So that would be our final answer in simplified exponential form. Once again, we're multiplying those powers to get our simplified form. Now, if we're writing this in expanded form, so here's how the rule looks in expanded form, 10x to the 4th being raised to the 2nd power would just be 10x to the 4th times 10x to the 4th. Now, if we write those in expanded form, that's 10 times x times x times x times x. So we have expanded form now. And once again, we're multiplying these terms together. So we're going to end up multiplying our coefficients, and we have coefficients of 10, 10 times 10. And then we're going to be multiplying our bases of x. So times x, and I won't write it all out, so we'll just go dot, 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 multiplying all our x's together. 10 times 10 is 100. And notice we have, well, x4 here, and we have 4 x's there, x to the 8th. Final answer in simplest form would be 100 x to the 8th. And once again, the rule power to a power is when raising a power to a power, we multiply our exponents. So eventually, it'll save us time once we get the hang of that rule, because we don't have to write these terms in expanded form. When we're raising powers to a power, we could end up with kind of very large numbers.